So in this video I just want to explain a little bit about the connectors and the beams that we've got. So these are your standard connectors. Your most common connector that you will use for almost everything will be this one, which is the 60mm, which 60mm high, and it's the locked version, so it's got a little L, and the reason for that L is, I don't know if you can see that on there, it's just got that little tab there, and all that means is that the bottom of these, they've got a space for the tab in each of those quadrants, and it just means when you put the two together they won't turn. Some of these don't have the locked tab on there, so just that little bit is missing, so when they're put together it means they can just spin freely. Now I just tend to always print the locked ones. If I ever need one that's not locked, then I'll print that. To be honest, you probably won't ever need them. It's just there as a feature. If you do use them, it's probably going to be on the feet. Now the feet, they will go in the middle of connectors when you're putting floors together, and then you might want one that's not locked so that you can have a rotating pillar or something like that on there. But that will be very rare, so you probably, if you just always print the locked ones, and you'll know if you ever need an unlocked one without the little tab. Okay, so that's just that. Now the other, so that's those two versions, so like a locked one and an unlocked one, although this one is locked. If I just turn it around, pretend it's not. And then you also have these ones which don't have anything on the top. This one's actually got a square hole in it, but the newer ones haven't. They're just completely flat, and the reason for that is if you're building a wall, for example, like this, and you just wanted the top of the wall flat, you're never going to put anything on top, then you might want to just print them out without the little cap on the top. And the reason the caps are there, for obvious reasons, is that these they will go in. They're not really tight. They don't snap in like the walls snap together, and the reason for that is so that you can just lift off each level at a time, like this. If you can see this, so if you wanted to take this level off, the whole level comes off and then just clicks back into place nice and easily. So that's the reason for the caps, and that's the reason for the three different versions as well, and that's the 60mm one. We also do the 30mm one, which are these ones, so they're half the size and exactly the same, where you get the locked ones, the flat ones, and then the free ones as well. And then you get the little tiny ones, so they're a lot smaller, exactly the same. So these are the same height as the beams. So for connecting, if you don't want any pillar type situations. Now we do other ones as well. So like this one, for example, this has got a feature on it. So this is part of the wall. It's upside down. So this would go, as part of the wall. So it's got like the buttress. So like this one. So this is actually a T section. So it's got the three edges on it, which is why it's a T. And then obviously these ones are called the cross section because they're a cross shape. And then there's the elbow, which just again is like a 90°. And then there's the end one, and the end one is just got one attachment, so then it's just square with just one bit, and you'd use that if you was just finishing off a wall. So if you wanted this wall, and then you might have a straight connector there, so it's just got the two bits on the side, connect your wall up, and then these two bits are flat, and then on the end of the wall you might just have one of those end pieces. And again, you can connect everything up with the cross connectors. The only time you do it different is like this, if you want to put a smooth surface on it. So as you can see here, we've got a smooth surface here, and then underneath is cross connector. The benefit of having a cross connector there is that you could attach other things to it. So there's a few things already, signs and things like that, but in the future we're bringing out lots of other things like torches and other things that you might want to clip onto the wall. So you just need to bear that in mind when you're choosing what sort of connector. And if you do put the wrong one in, obviously it's easy enough, you just pop it out and put the one in that you do want. So that's the connectors, and then we've got the beams. So this is the B beam, so it's the most common beam that you'll probably use, but there are all sorts of different variations of the beam for certain situations. But if in doubt, this is probably the one that you're going to want to use. Some of them are flatter, they don't have the raised section in the middle, and there's sort of certain use case scenarios for that. And when you buy the bundles and you go through and you build whatever it is that you're building, you may find that you'll need a different type of beam. But for most applications, you're just going to be using this, which is the B style. And this one, this is a long one. So essentially this is just two Bs put together. If you imagine, I'll just grab one of these and then connect that there, and we will connect that one up, and then this has the exact same footprint as if that had been joined like that, and it just makes it quicker, especially when you're using like the big the floor flockers or something like that. Essentially you just put the two on then, and then you've got your sort of your cross section where you could be putting in your big floor tiles, and on that's where you would use these ones, which are slightly different, where they drop down, that they can go under the floor flockers. And sometimes rather than using those ones, you just use 4 of these and they can go into there, but as you can see they don't fit because they're thicker. So this is where you'd use the completely flat ones if you wanted to go on top of something like that. But again, you'd know the situation. If you can't fit that in, that's when you then look and see if it's one of the other type of beams that you need to put in. But for most case scenarios, this is the one that you're going to be wanting to print a lot of. And I usually just run a load of these off and then run a load of these ones off. They're the most common. And we have got a few other beams that's just worth mentioning. So this one, this is like the corbelled lintel, and it prints this way round on the print bed, but is actually designed to be used this way round. So it's worth bearing that in mind as well, that some of the beams can be used upside down. So for this, for example, if you wanted to use it to support a wall above, you'd probably just turn it round and it would just look a little bit nicer. But that's what this one's kind of for. It's got the corbels on there, which is just supporting that lintel. This is really good for holding walls together, especially if you've got some floor sections and they're all just held together with like the little base beams. You can then have one of these type structures at the top just to hold everything together and keep it nice and secure, and obviously give it a little bit of greebling, a little bit of detail to make it look nice. Sorry guys, just disappeared to pick up a couple of other bits. I just wanted to show you. Some of them have got detailing on, so this is like one of the underkeep ones with the underkeep bricks in it, and it's an end piece, what I was on about, where it's just got that one attachment and it's just to finish off a wall or something like that. This is also a new beam that we've got. This is just a prototype at the moment, and it's designed to work. If I just pop it on here, so you click it into the top of this one, for example, and then on this end we might have one of these ones, and it's designed like that. And then we've got special floor flockers that go in so that we can have slopes. So you can imagine the possibilities with this is quite good really, because we can start doing hills and mounds and huge big undulating ground structures. But this is just in development at the moment, but I thought I'd just do a quick video on it.